What is up, y'all boys? Okay. So as y'all can see from the presentation, I told y'all I was coming with it. This is basically just how I make my how I make my VSLs, like the structure of them, breaking them down. And yeah, how to make VSLs that print. Now, I probably should have put a screenshot up on here, but I'm done. I think right now the store is at $280,000. But that's since I started it, like over like the last 3.5 months. Um, Damn, my fault. Where the energy at? I'm tired of this. I've been working all day and I'm hungry as shit. Keeping it a stack. But I've been doing ecom in the space for like 3 years. I really started taking it serious last year. Switched over to paid traffic from organic, like literally in July. I never made a VSL before then. I never did direct response. It took me around like maybe like 10 VSLs before I did my first 1K day. It just took me a long time to like put the bitches out. But as I got used to making them, and now I have an editor, I don't even like script like edit them anymore. But the whole concept behind VSLs is like an entry door to direct response marketing. And what's beautiful about that is, okay, if you were to go Callow Rip, or if you were to goddamn, I don't even know, like steal your competitors' ads, you have no competitive advantage. You don't know how to read the market. You don't understand sophistication levels. First of all, you don't even know how to make your own ads, and you cannot win. I have the confidence that I can go, if I found a product that is trending, I could take the time and figure out the market, and I would just have a better odds than you. My fault, not my fault, gang. I didn't even know you like that, but just better odds than the average dropshipper to making it work, especially in the more complex markets like beauty, um, wellness, health, shit. Even there's a pet brand doing 100K days that are running off VSLs, bro. Like VSLs are honestly like voiceover ads. You can do podcast style. You can do all types of different shit. Voiceover ads with B-roll. They're hella easy to edit, but instead of just doing a regular voiceover ad, it's only like a minute long where you're like really trying to sell the product. In the VSLs, you get to sell the story, right? You get to talk to the customer. You get to understand the customer, and you get to position your product as the natural solution, bro. I'm telling you, VSLs are OP. We already spoke for 2 minutes on here, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I already know the first slide because I ain't gonna lie, it's like my third time doing this shit, bro. And I had to buy Loom Plus because, all right. So, little history lesson. Of course, it stands for video sales letter. It's like I'm talking to you. Like I think a good example of like modern form VSLs are like people that like maybe I think of it like if you were to buy somebody's like mentorship and they like you go to the website and it's a video of them talking to you, like not after you buy, but like warming you up for the purchase. That's a type of VSL. Might have been a bad example if you ain't been in the online money space too long, but I'm gonna show you the OG version of a VSL. Shout out to Big Dog Eugene Shorts, bro. He is probably the godfather of VSLs. I don't know who else to even like pull up. I know this man's name. This is history, bro. He would make these huge ass letters, bro, that would go in the art, like would go in newspapers, and he would print, bro. He would get somebody to buy off of this shit right here. I don't know who wrote breakthrough advertising. Hold on. Oh my god, I did not know he wrote breakthrough advertising. That's crazy. He even wrote breakthrough advertising. This is a book that has probably gotten over $300,000 worth of sales in this last year because of all the people that started talking about it in the dropshipping space. This book has look shit a game changer in marketing. This is OP. Actually, I still have to read it, but all the concepts we're about to talk about literally come out of this fucking book. None of this shit. I did not invent this shit. Deadass. I gotta remember to edit this video because. All right, all right. Oh, I want to break that whole down. My fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. Ugh, organization, bro. My fault, y'all. All right, I just have to edit this video now. I need to remember to edit this off. All right, so as you see off the title, doctor reports new miracle diet cures arthritis. Look at that title, bro. Imagine that you had arthritis and your bones hurt when you move and all that stuff, right? And you read this in the paper. It's going to get you to read the next line. That's the point of good copy. It makes you want the viewer, the target audience, automatically wants to go to the next line. And honestly, we're not going to go through this whole thing. And honestly, I'm going to answer this question. You might think, Aaron, Bill, who's going to sit through this whole thing and read this whole thing? Who's going to sit through a 10-minute video on Facebook? First off, it's the same reason why you're watching this video right now. If I'm blanking on somebody's name, but if somebody were to drop a new ad strategy today, you're gonna watch a 30-minute video on how to click some buttons because you want to make some money. You have the desire to make some money, and a perceived authority figure has the answer. You're gonna sit there like a good boy and watch the whole thing. I ain't gonna do you like that, but I'm just telling you, bro. Don't have a limiting belief on that shit, bro. Like people, if you have a problem and you present yourself as an authority and you're able to relate to that person, they're gonna sit through your whole shit, bro. We're already 5 minutes in. I already read the title, but as you see, in most cases, ends pain, heat, swelling in joints in 3 to 10 days, restores normal bone structure in 3 to 6 months. What is he talking about? It literally makes you want to keep reading. Hundreds of arthritis victims who were resigned to a life of agonizing pain are now enjoying pain-free motion once again, thanks to this new miracle diet. Says discoverer, whoever it is, Mr. Dr. Campbell, bro. I'm not reading this whole thing, but Like that's a lead. We're gonna get into the breakdown of this, but I just want to show you some OG stuff, bro. It's crazy, and we're just gonna take this and turn it into a video, make it usable for Facebook ads. This is my first Mario board, so please forgive me for how I structured this. So I did sell, but follow along. So VSLs are like a sandwich. All right. The sandwich machine onion, it has layers, bro. So this is the common VSL structure that I would make. Usually my VSLs are like 5 to 7 minutes. I'm trying to stick around like that 5 minute mark right now. If it's a really heavy topic, I go to 7. My first VSL brought me to my first 1K day was a 7 minute VSL. And yeah, brother, that was probably like the 10th VSL I made. It just took me a long time to pump them out, and of course they're not easy. It's a lot of copy to write, but you got it, bro. Nothing's easy, bro. Pick your heart, dog. Nothing's easy. Pick your heart. I'll tell you this. People talk about avatars. People talk about listicles. People talk about all of this other stuff. And people try to have AI write everything. AI is a good tool to get you a good foundation. And I was using it at the start for a lot of the things I do. I would have it, I would tell it the concept I wanted to write, and I would have it do like 5 versions of it, and I have it rank it, and I would go through and grief it. But of course, you got to research. You got to do all these different things to make good VSLs. But what this does is it makes drop shipping not a game of gambling, because it gives you power. It gives you the skill to relate to people, right? And get people to buy. So first off is the hook, of course. You know what a hook is. Build curiosity, call out the audience. Y'all already know all that, right? There's a couple of different things that I would do for some really good hooks. Something called a pig statement. Mark Bill's Brands talks about those, and that's just a punch in the gut statement. So that's a statement that's so visceral that it feels like a punch in the gut to, you know, to the target audience. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. It's gonna be kind of shitty. I have Claude write all of them. But let's say you're talking about a mom that wants to lose weight, which is kind of fucked up. But like a pig statement would be like, I don't know, because now I'm just going to start roasting moms that want to lose weight. So I'm not going to make a big statement on my own. All right, lead. So the lead is unique, all right? This is where you let the customer know 3 things: that you understand them at a deep level. So relatability, that's your hold rate, right? That those first 15 seconds, a lead can be anywhere between like 15, 30 seconds. Honestly, all these things are arbitrary. Once you understand the concept behind these things, you get to just play, bro. You just get to ball out, bro. Do your thing. It's your game. Like, as long as you understand the concept and the structure of what everything's supposed to do, shit, you do what you do. But if you relate to people in the lead, of course, people are going to want to continue watching. And after it gets to a certain point where, of course, you're gonna have a drop off rate of retention, but you might notice if you run ads, like after people get to like halfway through your shit, like people are gonna watch. Like people end up the retention rate drops off significantly. And if it doesn't, then you gotta fix something. But relatability, it needs to build momentum and hand the story off to the background. And optional, point to a solution, right? So you just like kind of preview a solution or kind of like hint to one. All this stuff is gonna make sense as we like go through VSLs in the future. I'm gonna do that 2 times a week, or 1 time a week, guaranteed. Guaranteed 1 time a week, most 2 times a week, where I will go to break down the VSL on this channel from Facebook Library, something that's making money, not some garb. All right, background story. This is where we continue the momentum, drop the knife, and the problem, twist the knife. This is where we built the foundation for the transformation and like Rex versus storytelling. So there's like emotional stakes. That's all I really mean by this. This is where we built the emotion, twist the knife, show the drive for an answer. These things take all types of different shapes, but this is where the background story is going to have the bulk of the emotion, the stuff that's going to show up in the transformation, really, right? And then problem mechanism. Where did I put the problem mechanism? Ooh, there we go. We didn't have no arrows to it. L creator, bro. All right. So the problem mechanism. This is where we explain the root cause of the problem. So the power of a VSL is that you have the time to transform the belief of a target avatar and explain the root cause of what they're dealing with. This positions you in a lane of your own, like in comparison to any other product on the market, right? It allows you to be the natural progression and create an open loop on how to fix the problem that you presented. If I think I can't see because I don't know, my eyes are bad, or because I squint too much when because I'm on the computer all the time, and I'm really doing this off the top of my head, and you are able to, I don't know, convince me that it was something. It's not that I'm on the computer, but it's really because I don't know, because when I work during the day, I really don't know. But you just reframe the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. You would reframe the problem in a way that makes sense. You do have to do research every day of your sales. This is not some lazy ass shit that you can just do and try to make some bread. Like, no, bro. And if you haven't learned at this point, dropshipping is hard. Dropshipping is not easy, bro. All this stuff takes time. Nothing's easy, bro. Nothing is easy. You can get lucky and hit on a product and whoop la di da and ride off into fucking whatever rainbow destination, but you're gonna fall off because you don't know what you're doing. Okay, you don't know what you're doing, and it's not a repeatable structure. So that's why I really preach VSLs. Honestly, anything you do, there's a lot of different ways to make money. Each kind of stuff. I'm talking about the way that I make my money and how I am planning to scaling up. There are brands that literally do 100K days off of VSLs, and plus, like, hey man, this is direct response mastermind. Direct response. I should explain this earlier, but honestly, if you're doing ecom, you're damn near direct response because you are not a brand yet. So you are meeting a customer for the first time and you're trying to get a response from them off the first day. Or of course, when they go lower in the funnel. But the whole point is they didn't know about you before. you present yourself to them and you're trying to get them to buy. Then you're on the spot. You don't have a brand where you're just running only retargeting ads on Facebook ads, right? That's my understanding of direct response. I could be completely wrong, but hey, man. All right. So what goes into problem mechanism is understanding your market sophistication level. What the fuck is that, right? So there's 5 levels to market sophistication. The first one is like completely new to market. No one said it before. I kind of hate this example now, but that's like this is a VR set. This is probably like one of the first VR sets. Of course, I could have like really pulled up an old ass one where they had like a freaking I don't know like a hot dog on your face and they put some glasses on. I don't know, bro, some old ass stuff. But this is like ancient as virtual reality VR headsets. And people thought this was crazy back in the day, right? No one ever seen it before, right? Level 2 is like others have set what? Oh, it's already been around, so you just say it better. Okay, so this is just increasing the claim on what's going on. So like I guess upgrade would be this right here. Like I said, I kind of hate this example now, but like this. Okay, I guess another one would be like, okay, if you made the computer, if you have the very first computer, bro, you bring that to market, people are gonna buy that. But if the next person brings a computer, but this one has better charging, people are gonna buy that over the other one because it has a better claim or it moves faster. Whatever the claim is, you increase the claim on the initial product, it makes people want to buy the next product, right? And the third one is okay, everybody has these fast chargers, everybody has all these different things. Like same thing with the headsets. There's Steam has one, Meta has one. I don't know. I don't really use VR headsets, but all these companies probably have VR headsets that are just normal in the market, right? The next one is to there's too many promises. It's a crowded market, a lot of claims. You change the mechanism. You change what's going on. That's where a lot of people are going to be. You're going to be in a level 3 or 4 market, right? Because we aren't product inventors. We're not discovering a product and doing product development and research and making some new, I don't know, some new stuff into the market. That's not what we're doing. We're taking an existing product and bringing it to the market. Of course, something that solves a problem. So there's going to be the person that had the problem before. They know they've had a problem. So they're going to go they tried things before. That's the point. They tried things before. So they've heard promises and the market's crowded with a lot of claims, a lot of different solutions. That's when we change the mechanism. Wait. Oh, my fault. We changed the mechanism. We changed how the desired outcome is achieved and how our way is better. So that would be the Vision Pro, right? There's nothing like the Vision Pro out there right now, to my knowledge. You know, Apple got the stain to be with the brand that they are. But the point is, the Vision Pro is in a class of its own. And even though it's VR, I think it's like AR or something, but that's the mechanism. That's the point. People are going to buy this, not only because it's Apple, but because it's fundamentally different. It's a new mechanism. This shit is not on the market. And that's the whole point. We changed the problem mechanism and then position the solution mechanism to be the solution to their problem. I know I'm saying mechanism a lot, but I just want to really drive this point. If people have a problem and they think their problem, the reason they have a problem is this, and you're able to tell them that they've only been solving the symptoms, they haven't been solving the problem itself, but like the symptom of the problem, and you're able to educate the customer on the problem. Okay, this is top of funnel shit. You educate the customer on the problem, and then you're able to tell them before you even introduce your product. You then tell them the what to solve the actual problem. You need this mechanism. You need this concept. That's what the solution. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. That's the solution mechanism. It's the concept that would solve the root cause of their problem. Think about what that does to the customer that's in with some shit. You're like, oh, like you got to do it right. You can't just say anything. But as long as you take the current beliefs that they have and you shatter, you will have to shatter some beliefs or 1 or 2 beliefs. But you got okay. We'll get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Level 4, the market has heard all types of mechanisms, right? You then just increase the claim on the mechanism. Okay, so instead of increasing the claim on the product, you increase the claim on the mechanism. I don't have a good example for that, but once again, like you might say that it does it faster, or like if there's a whole bunch of people that have your product, you might take a feature of the product that people haven't talked about for real, and you would just spend that. Example would be like I don't know, I haven't been on Callow in a minute, so I'm just gonna talk about the solar fan hat. It's like the first product I ran. I ran a solar fan hat, but when it was so small, and it blew up in my grill. But anyways, solar fan hat. People talking about like how I'll pull it up just in case you know what I'm talking about. Hold on. This thing right here. This was an error. This is the first product I ran. Tried a couple of different concepts, but I was pretty slow. Ironically, the most popular concept was men using this while they were grilling. That did me like my first $1,000 in a week. Not profit, that was revenue, but I was profitable, so it was pretty cool, especially for my first product coming back into Facebook ads. Whole point is, people when they were selling this, they were only talking about the solar ability of the hat and the charging cord and the fact that it has like 3-dimensional or 3D stuff. Nobody was talking about the brim. You know, the brim is supposed to stay up, and I could have positioned it like on this solar fan hat. There's a metal rod that goes around the brim. The other solar fan hats they sink when they get used too much, and it will cause some vision. It makes the product more shitty. But our solar fan hat is it's the most premium one. It has the metal brim that makes it stay up and da 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 da. That's the whole point. All the hats have this, but nobody's talking about it. So you're just taking another feature of your product and emphasizing it. Of course, you don't want to lie because that's just going to be refunds, and returns. Excuse me, chargebacks. But just take like if there's an ingredient in your product that people aren't talking about, you would just harp on that ingredient more. It's the same type of shit, bro. I just looked at my product. I have to edit that out. Where we at? Bro, I gotta remember to edit all this shit, bro. I gotta watch 20 minutes of this SMH. Thank you for watching, by the way. I mean, all right, so level five, we 20 minutes in. I honestly, that's not bad. That's not bad. We almost done. All right, level five, market is skeptical, cynical, or checked out. There's no claim. There's nothing that they can be done. That can be done, right? That's clothes, water, tape, pencils. Bro, you can't tell me anything to make me buy some water. You can't tell me anything to make me buy some tape, pencils, none of that shit. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna buy it. So that's when you shift from product to avatar. None of us are going to be in these level five markets, and actually we're going to stay away from them. But we're just going to finish explaining all five levels. That's when you would pinpoint a segment of the market and appeal to only them. And honestly, you can take this concept and still apply it because if the market's really really crowded, you would just take a new angle. That's kind of like there's a Mark Gill's brands talks about this as well. The blue ocean and red ocean strategy. The red ocean, blood in the water. There's a whole bunch of people and everybody's selling to the same people. Everybody's competing. Da 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 da. Blue ocean, open seas. Nobody's is unproven. Nobody's done anything. And then you combine them and you get a purple ocean. The purple ocean is when you're taking a trending product, a trending offer, all these things that are trending, but you're taking it to a market that you know needs the product, but nobody's marketing to this angle. No one's talking to these people. So you're just taking the same thing that works over here and taking it here and you're gonna win. That's like hair loss. These hair loss products, right? These hair loss products are gonna work for men the same way they're gonna work for women. So instead of marketing to just women, you just go and you market it to men. You know what I'm saying? That's the same type of shit. Men are balding too. So yeah, but all that to say, market level sophistication level five, water, all these things. Like for water, honestly, we don't gotta explain it. You're not gonna be worried about that. And I kind of just explained another concept that's a little bit better. So all right. This plays a role into your mechanism because the market sophistication level doesn't change the product. It changes what the customer already believes, right? Your job is to not explain the product, is to correct the customer's existing mental model. I'm low-key clicking, bro. Or even align with it, right? Which is easier to do. You got to strategically pick which ones to shatter and which ones to align with, right? So in level one, people are going to think, I didn't even know this was possible. So you have to teach that a problem exists, or you just got to show your product. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't even know these things were possible. You're never going to be in a level one, right? Not often, or in dropshipping. A level two is they know the problem, but they're not sure solutions work. To a certain extent, they could be thinking a couple different things, but that's when you prove and you validate. And once again, increase the claim. But honestly, forget these two. I'm gonna stand on these three. So everything claims to solve this. That's what they're thinking in a level three. There's so many different solutions. They all claim to solve it. I don't believe nobody. I don't know who to believe. Well, I thought it said Kyrie was coming back. My fault. Everything claims to solve it. That's when you reframe the root cause. We're gonna go this quick. On level four, they've been burnt before. That's when you break the false beliefs. In level five, it's supposed to be five. It's part of my life now. You got to speak to identity. And honestly, I don't want to discredit myself. I would forget all this stuff down here. Just know what to strategically align with and what not. If I think, I don't know. What am I trying to think? If I think that I'm trying to think of something that's like fundamentally true. I don't know. If I think the ocean is blue, you can't tell me the ocean is fucking doodle brown. You can't, because the ocean's blue. So don't try to shatter that belief. You would have to be one hell of a marketer to convince me that the ocean is doodle brown. But if you can use that belief that I have to, I don't know. It's just hopefully you get it. Some beliefs you need to utilize to your advantage, to utilize to your narrating tone to get to the next point. If I'm a woman and I'm like a feminist woman, right, and I think that I don't know that men are disrespectful to women. I don't know. You could take that belief and are you? I think I'm a feminist woman. And I think that men don't care about women's problems. And then I take that belief and I tell them that all the solutions that they tried were made by men that were made by men. All the solutions that they tried for the problem are made by men. All the baby products they use are made by men. So and this product, and so they don't understand the things that you go through. This product I wouldn't say it's made by a woman, but this problem, but that's why none of the stuff that you use has worked. They're gonna be like, shit, that makes sense because they already believe that men don't care. That's the whole thing. You don't need to shatter that belief that men care. You can take that belief and take them along the story and relate to them and understand their mental framing, right? And then shatter the belief in another way. You wouldn't want to say that you're a woman on business. That's fucked up. But you could like say, I don't know. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Some beliefs you shatter, some beliefs you carry on. I'm sorry, I feel like I kind of was there too long. Solution mechanism. How does your product solve this unique problem that you have reframed and introduced? Wait, yeah, that's it. That's all you're explaining the mechanism. You're not explaining what the product is. You're explaining why this approach works when nothing else does, right? So the solution mechanism must directly neutralize the root cause, not just manage the symptom. That's what makes it inherently unique and positions your product as the natural solution. And that's the beauty of VSLs, bro. You can't do that shit no other way. You're not doing that shit with a UGC style ad, bro. That's gonna be damn near, pretty fucking hard to do. So and to go back to the structure of this, to go back to the structure of this, we went background story, the problem mechanism. We went on this whole tangent. What I like to do is invalidate the solution. After I talk about the background story and go into the problem mechanism, I can then talk about the solutions that they've tried, that I've done my research on the avatar, and I know the things that they've tried, and I'm able to directly talk to them like, this is why these things haven't worked, and invalidate these solutions individually or altogether, depending on what they are. And like the whole time, you want the customer to be like, this makes sense. It's why this hasn't worked. All these things I've tried hasn't worked. So it's not that I'm stuck with this problem. It's not that I'm cooked. I just haven't tried things that actually work. And then you get to explain what the solution needs to do. We can kind of go through this kind of quick. And then it positions your product. You can build up your product, which is a new thing that I've added. I started to build up my product before I just introduce it. But you can build up your product, and then you can just introduce your products as the seamless answer to this. It's the seamless solution to what they got going on, bro. It's bro. This is so. This is bro. This is peak, bro. This is peak. This is peak fiction, bro. But it's non-fiction, bro. All right. And then with the problem introduction, let's see what the fuck I'm talking about here. What happens if your customer is already solution aware? So if your customer already understands the root cause of their product, that's when you enhance the claim. That's at market level situation level 4, and you just take the unique selling point. Of course, always you want to position it as the unique selling point. That just means literally exactly what it says. A unique selling point to your shit. Like, how it has the mechanism that will solve it, the deliverable. Like let's say that shit, bro. Let's say that I'm sorry, off the top of my head, neurogum. Your comedian gets neurogum because they chew it up and they spit it out, and you're probably losing out on some caffeine when you spit it out. But you have a consumable version of caffeine, and you can eat it, swallow it, and then of course you absorb more caffeine. Okay, that's gonna be a unique selling point. It's gonna position you as it positions your product as better because it's unique. You're changing the form. Ta-da. All right, explain. All right, explain. And if you know who that's from, yeah. All right. And then the transformation, of course, is just when you complete the emotional journey. People buy off of emotion, not through logic. So the problem mechanism and the solution mechanism, those are our logic engines, right? But we get to the move, the wheels, the heart, I guess I shouldn't say engine. I guess the logic of the wheels, the engine is the emotion. That's the heart, right? So that's where the background story. That's where we have the transformation. That's when we fulfill the desire. That's when we speak to it. That's when we future pace in the close, of course. But we close on emotion. In the transformation in the close, that's when we close on emotion with the closing tactics that you can use. I mentioned some future pacing, crossroad close. You can mention your offer. You can tell them what would happen if they don't do anything, and you can leverage these emotions. I have another video I can make on how to use emotion to sell, like how to emotionally map a customer from one stage to another, and you can. That's a whole other video in itself. But that is the structure of a VSL. This is my first educational video that you stuck through. I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you, buddy, for sure. For sure, you're right on. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this whole today. Probably get this posted. I probably gonna get this posted tomorrow, but that's okay. 30 minutes. We is out. Peace, love, gratitude. Bro, if you got any questions, drop them. And like I said, I'm gonna talk about. We're gonna break down the VSL one time a week, every week, 2 times a week. If I'm feeling it. But that's it. Y'all boys be easy.